Hi guys, here we are, we're back down on the club lake, back down on the local. You see these fish right behind me here, I'm not sure if you can see them, but I've got about 7 or 8 fish right in front of me. They weren't in front of this swim to begin with, they were a couple of swims down, but they've moved literally right in front of the swim now, so I'm trying to be as quiet as I can. So, all the junk here, got to get this all sorted up. I'm going to get fixed up. As quiet as I can, and then we'll have a big chinwag. But yeah, I've got 2 nights. Right, 2 rods out. 2 rods out. Both of them on solid bags out there from the session before. I tried to be as subtle as I could. I think I was more like Oliver Hardy rather than Ollie from Nash. But I went right over them, spooked them a little bit. But it's sort of good because it's moved them that way a bit, and then they've drifted back into the swim. So it's not frightened them off. That's 2 rods out. Right, just need to get the rest of this crap sorted out now, get the house up. I wasn't going to put the house up straight away, I was just going to chill out for a bit, but it's actually quite hot. I've just had to put a bit of suntan lotion on because it's only bloody April, but that sun is strong. So yeah, just need to set up the rest of the swim now. Didn't use that many sections of the bushwhacker in the end, just a few. But it's enough just to get me out where the distance that the fish have been at. So let me get set up and I'll fill you in about the session and whatnot. Alright, looking lush, isn't it? So, I'm down here for 2 nights. I'm in this swim. I've never fished this swim before actually. But I'm fishing this swim for 2 reasons. Firstly, they cut a lot of bramble bush that used to be down here, which has made which has really opened the water up. The reason why I've never fished this swim before is because you could reach most of this water from the point there, if you can see the point swim coming out. So that's why I've never fished it, never really seen the need to. But now they've opened it up a bit, it makes it a bit more accessible. And the second reason, the most important reason, is when I had a walk around earlier on, a lot of the fish were down here, to the right of the swim, to the right of me here. But unfortunately, when I come around to set up, they were all sat in front of me, so that made it a bit awkward. But there's a lot of fish down this area of the lake, and some big ones as well. I saw a few stockies, but one or two of the big girls were in there as well, so I'm really hopeful. I mean, they're sort of right up at the top of the water. Some of them had the backs out of the water, but I've got no doubt that when that sun starts to drop a bit, they'll get on it. So what I've done is, it goes down to a 2 rod rule now, this water, between April and September, I think. So I can only fish 2 rods. So I had 2 bags left from the last session, so I shipped them out as carefully as I could. But as I said, I was a bit clumsy, a bit, wasn't very stealth-like. But they didn't seem to bother. They moved back into the swim literally as soon as I baited up. And they're still mooching around now to the right of the swim. So I'm really hopeful. I think there's a few fish down here. Fortunately, one thing I have noticed is to the left here is where the swan's nest is. But hopefully they won't bother me too much. The solid bags are just halibut pellets, and one's got a Stelliella, and I couldn't see what the other one was, but I've no doubt it's a stinky or a crystal white, something like that. But they're both out on little 10mm boilies, pop-ups. So you can see one just cruising there. Can you see that one heading in there? I'm not sure if you can pick that up on this camera, but there's a few fish down here. When I turned up at the lake, there was a lot actually down in the pig farm end of the lake, but there was another guy who'd already turned up and he'd already sort of bagged that end of the lake, so I haven't bothered him. I've just let him set up down there, but he did have a lot of fish in front of him. But you know, I'm not complaining because there's quite a few down here as well. Okay, house is up, thank God. It's absolutely scorching out there. Ooh. Oh my. That's it, that's it. Oh. Not sure if you saw that. I presume it's on camera. Oh my word. Oh, sorry about that. I was just going to say, about 2 minutes before that I had a liner on that rod as well. I don't know whether that was a liner or an aborted take. Oh well, who knows, you never know, unless you get your head below the water. But, oh my God. So yeah, as you can see, there's still fish around here. I've just seen a couple crews in as well on the top. They're all sort of in the upper layers. But I'm confident. I really think they're going to get their heads down later on for a bit of a nibble. Not sure why I haven't fished this swim a bit more. It's actually a lovely swim, actually, when you sat in it. I mean, obviously it has changed a lot since the bramble bush was like sort of here, so you can only really aim at that part of the lake, which, as I say, you can cover from the point swim, which is, oh, my eyes are a bit bad now, but I don't know, somewhere up there. Now, the point swim is a really popular swim because you can obviously see most of the lake from there, or most of this side of the lake anyway. So yeah, I think if you were aiming for sort of this area, you would really just fish the point. But actually fishing this, now this bush has gone to the right, you can really sort of head down towards Deadman's Corner. And then straight out ahead of you, you can't really see it, but there's a swim there called the Toilet Swim, which is the next one on from the point. And that used to be really overgrown and a really good sort of sneaky hidey hole. And I did a film actually a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago on there, called the Hidey Hole. So I used to enjoy that swim a lot, but I've not really fished it since they ripped the sort of the cover out there. But having said that, it still does loads of fish. There's one of the members, Rob, he's always down here. He always fishes that swim, and he's had a few clonkers recently, including Cullum's Common, I think, which is now usually around the 30 mark. So that's one of the A team now. They say the A team. There's always an A team down at the lake, isn't there? And there is down here, and that's what I'm hoping to. Oh, so fish just rolled over there. I'm hoping to get on them this year if I can. Now I think I've only had 2 members of the A team, which I consider Cullum's Common and the Patch Common, but there's also a really nice common called White Tips that I want to have, and of course the biggest fish in the lake is a big common called Big Girl. That's original, isn't it? Big Girl, she's enormous. I think her record weight is around 44, I think. I'm not sure now, to be honest, but she's definitely usually around the 40 mark. And when I came down here for a walk round yesterday, I walked round with my daughter yesterday, about sort of 2ish in the afternoon, and there was a few down here again, and there was a few of the big uns in there. So there's a few stockies, but there's a few of the big uns in there, and that's what I've seen again today. They kind of just like sat there basking in the sun, not really doing much. So I'm probably not really even fishing for them at the minute. But this sun is over the last hour has got weaker already. I can feel the temperature going down. It's supposed to go down to either 0 or 1 again tonight. So it's going to get cold again tonight. But I think all this sun over the past few days must have brought the temperature up in the water for sure. And there's loads of activity. I've seen a couple of fish bosh out down near towards the Toilet Swim. I've seen fish roll here and there. I'm seeing lots of fry breaking the surface, pike strikes, stuff like that. It really feels like it really feels different, even though I was only down here sort of 3 weeks ago fishing, something like that, when I fished the last post. It already feels like there's a lot more life in the lake. It's amazing what a bit of sun does. So I'm just shipped out on those solid bags just because they were quick and easy to get out. But what I think I might do, as the sun goes down tonight, or maybe just after the sun's gone down maybe, I've got some sweet amino that's in the sweet amino spod nectar, and has got liquids in it as well. I've got that soaking in lake water, along with some hemp. So I'm going to ship them out. So I need to look at a couple of multi-rigs, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to look at putting a couple of multi-rigs on, and yeah, maybe chop and change a bit just after the sun's gone down. Alright guys, just thought I'd show you this. It's my usual setup. You've seen it before, but I've actually changed my mind on the right hand rod. I'm going to keep that solid bag out there, but on the left hand rod I'm going to introduce helicopter system with a drop off lead and a multi-rig on a Stella Yellow, and I've just tried that in the edge and it's sitting there perfectly. So I'm going to get that shipped out now on the old bushwhacker and put some of this yeah, so the mix is sweet amino spod nectar and a little bit of hemp, and then it's been soaking in the lake water for a few hours now, so that should be good to go. Right, we're just on sunset now, so I've just shipped that left hand rod out. Like I say, I've kept the right hand rod on the bag. Still looking great out there. Look, it's looking lush. Love it. I've got some stew. Not very summery food, but I've got a stew. Brought that with me. That I cooked a few weeks ago, so it's frozen, but it should be defrosted now. I'm just going to add a bit of water to that and get that on the go. Get a bit peckish. Okie dokie, right. What time is it? I haven't brought my watch with me, but it is 7:30. So 7:30, and there's been basically nothing's happened since I had those liners earlier on. I reset that left hand rod, but you saw that. I'm going to leave the right hand rod on the bag. I've had some stew, it was bloody lovely. I'm full up now. I've got a can of Estrella on the go. I'm going to enjoy that. Kick back, watch a bit of TV maybe. And if anything happens, I will of course report in. It's all peaceful out there. Oh, there's been a huge fish bosh out on the usual sort of over, let me think, over there right up against the bush. So it's known that there must be some sort of log or rubbing obstacle under the water there, because ever since I've been fishing on here, fish have always boshed out there, and they usually bosh out twice. It's just once and then they bosh out again, so they must be rubbing themselves up against something there. But yeah, that's happened twice now. Huge sort of mirror bosh out right over there. So it's looking good. It's looking carpy. Let's just bed down for the night now, see what happens. Morning folks. It's about 7:30. Woke up to, as you can see, a heavy mist on the lake. This wasn't forecast. There's quite a bit of drizzle around as well, a lot of moisture. Yeah, this wasn't forecast, so I wasn't expecting this. But I've just looked at the phone and it said it's supposed to be bright sunshine by 12 o'clock, so yeah. Let's get a brew on. Right guys, there I was chomping on some noodles, and the left hand rod went off. Shot off. unfortunately. Nothing there, lifted into it. Felt it a little bit actually at the start, and then it just came off. So God knows what's happened there. I'm on the old Ronnie's, and that's sharp as anything. There's no problem there, so we're gonna have another look at it and ship it back out. Oh man, so I'm absolutely gutted to have lost one. It's bloody typical, isn't it? I was just sat there chomping on some noodles, bit of a late lunch, and yeah, it just ripped off the left-hand rod. I'd only just put it out, only been out 5 minutes as well, but I changed that over to a fluoro berry, so maybe that's it, just more visibility maybe, I'm not sure, but I put that out on a fluoro berry. I checked the hook's fine, everything else about the rig is fine. I don't know, it's a Ronnie rig, which I don't like using, and obviously Ronnie rigs are, you know, caught thousands of fish, but I find that I've lost a few fish on Ronnie's, but I guess I was just being lazy. It was on the leader and I just put it on. I mean, I'm being a bit lazy again by sending it out, but there's nothing wrong with it. You know, the hook is pin sharp. There's no reason why that fish should have not been hooked properly, but it obviously wasn't. Gutted. But, you know, the flip side is, the good thing is, it's a bite and it's a bit of action. I was beginning to sort of get down a bit because, you know, for the past 2 days the fish have been down this end of the lake, but they seemed to have buggered off last night. But I took the rods out and I had a walk around the lake, and the chap who's fishing the pig farm, he's no longer got them in front of him. There's no sign of him down in the pig farm. I had a good old walk around the lake. I couldn't see anything. Well, I saw one sort of small one in the woodpile swim, which is like 4 swims down from this, but nothing worth moving for. So I came back, put the rods in, but just changed that left-hand rod onto a fluoro, and yeah, sure enough, it's ripped off. But that's a pike strike right there. But yeah, I'm gutted, but it's given me a bit of excitement. You know, to finish off my noodles, I was shaking while I was finishing off my noodles, and then obviously getting the pole back out there, I was like, it's just a bit of excitement, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know about Ronnie rigs. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it though. Like I say, it's pin sharp. There's no reason why it should have come off. Don't know. Anyway, it's given me a little bit of hope, that. So I'm just going to get the swim cleaned up a bit because it's got a bit messy in here. Settle down again, I think. Maybe make a brew. Okay, things are looking up a bit. Morning. Oh, well, yep, you guessed it. I'm heading towards another blank. I've got to get away fairly early-ish this morning. It's about 7:30 or something at the minute, and I've got to get back because the missus is going to work, the kids to look after. Gutted, really. Didn't not again, another bleepless night, and yeah. Turns out there are a lot of them are down in the pig farm. John's just been round the bailiff and said that he's seen a lot of them down in the pig farm. So I'm a bit gutted, to be honest. But you know, it's been great to get out for 2 nights. I've chilled out, I've had a few beers, I've had some nice food, I've been sat in the sunshine, the weather's been great. And I was on fish to start with, but they've just all disappeared since. They're very cute, these fish, aren't they? In this lake, it's not an easy lake by any stretch of the imagination. I didn't initially spook them off when I put the spoon over them the first night I was here, but who knows, they might have just been, yeah, we're being fished for here, let's move off. Or they could have just been moving off anyway, who knows. But yeah, coffee's on, and yeah, it's time for me to bugger off really. Hello folks, welcome back to the Stumps. We're in Swim 8, or the Stumps as it's known. I've done a video in here before, a while ago now. But it's Friday afternoon. I've just come on the lake, I've had a good walk round. I've seen a couple moving in and out of here, that's why I've opted to come into here. Plus it's looking lush, as you can see. I've got just less than 24 hours. It's Friday night, it's Friday afternoon at the minute, and there's nobody else down here on the lake, which is incredible for this place. Normally you get a Friday night crew and it's quite busy and you struggle for a swim. I've come down early today, 3 o'clock, and there's no one here. So, yeah, so brilliant. I've got the pick of the lake. Hopefully that works. So as you can see, got all the junk out of the van, ready to, well, just set the bed up, but that's all at the minute. I'm just going to get some bait going and get the rods out. I know a couple of good spots in here, so I pretty much know how to fish this swim. And I've had a few out of here, but I just need to get a fish this year. This is my 4th session down here, so I've done sort of early spring, mid-spring, and now it's late spring. I haven't had a fish yet, so I'm getting a bit desperate. So I'm going to get set up, get some rods out, and then I'll touch base with you in a bit. Oh, good morning. Yeah, 7 o'clock on the Saturday, and I'm really sorry I didn't do much filming yesterday. Everything just went so fast. I had to reset that right hand rod about 6 times yesterday, which took up all my time getting it out with a bushwhacker. Such hard work, and that's why I just didn't have much time to film. And in the end, the hard work paid off, because the right hand rod went about 1:30 in the morning. Hence, it's not back in yet, because the rig and everything was just a complete mess, and it just started raining as well. So I did the cowardly thing, but I was quite happy with the fish that I've got. So I'll show you that now. It's a nice 30. So the first fish of the season is a 30, and that's incredible. I've been, I think I've done about 4 sessions down here, from early spring to what is now late spring, and had nothing. So to have a 30, it feels like it's just all paid off at once. It's a really nice common fish I've never had before. Really good scrap and all, which made me think I thought it was sort of maybe mid-20s the way it was scrapping, because there's sort of the mid-20s scrap like hell in here. And usually anything sort of over 30, not that much, or not as hard, if you will. But this thing fought like a demon. Even on the banks, when I got him in and I was trying to get him up for pictures and whatnot, he was just fighting like mad. Anyway, let me show you some footage now from last night. Oh. 30-13. Yes. Get in. if we can get her up. £30, 13 ounce. Lovely, pristine common. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at it. Look at the other side. Oh, £30, 13 ounce. Right, let's get some pictures and get her back. So yeah, well chuffed.